Hello, we live? Can y'all see me? Let me take a look and get things started up here. This is not, I'm not late. Not even late. For me, it's right on time. But let me see. Pop out chat. Let's get things set up here. So this is not going to be a fun stream, but I realized that no matter what, I'm going to try and keep composure, be civilized, not be ruled by my emotions and all that stuff. At least I'm going to try. At least I'm going to try. How y'all doing, by the way, though? Let me close that video in the background. Can y'all see me, by the way? There's that comment I was replying to, saying I'm late. The accusations. I made a video of you. Oh, that's cool. I don't know if that's just trolling or not, but yeah. This is my first stream. Hey, welcome to the stream, Kiwi. So we have some fun stuff we're going to be doing here. Actually, no, what am I saying? It's not going to be fun. I got the stuff set up though. So, because here's the thing, I'm going to be making some claims and addressing a couple of things. And so that I don't look just like a schizo or whatever, referencing and shadow boxing here. I actually have the receipts for everything so that I can address main points. Like, for example, I got it all right up here. It would be covering up the chat, but we're going to be addressing things like this. I bring up not a tweet. I have a tweet for later to show like evidence and stuff like that for my claims. But there are so many comments that just really got under my skin because it just entirely misrepresents the whole video and what I was getting at. And I'm going to sound schizo, but this is why I had to make, I'd had to get evidence. People are gaslighting and lying about me. They're lying about me, and then they're misrepresenting what I'm saying. They're attacking the things I say, misrepresenting it. They're attacking me personally, and then they're trying to gaslight me. Look at this. This is pretty insane. This person says, I unsubscribed. Why would I listen to another YouTuber who didn't acknowledge the facts that it took her 10 minutes to detect, and I got the word censored because I just don't want this to be an issue. The young person who was a fan who got modded. Wait, shoot, I'm messing up my words here. I have a hard time reading. I do apologize for that. But it took her 10 minutes to detect the blank and asked for the fan who modded the Discord to kick out the younger person. Not to demand apology, just trying to paint her bad. You're just trying to paint her badly as a groomer. Well, I'm just going to say that. He's claiming I'm trying to paint her as a groomer. Y'all might be wondering, like, what is he talking about? Well, he's talking about something I never addressed in the video. There are many videos made about tons of controversies that happened with Leaflit's server. I picked and chose because, one, this wasn't relevant to what I was talking about. The interactions between people happening over there, between a mod and between people joining the server and getting banned. I didn't talk about any of that stuff because it wasn't relevant. But this person claims that he unsubscribed and that I was trying to paint Leaflit in a bad light. He was never subscribed. Look at the bottom right. I can see how many comments you people make. So when you come in saying you're unsubscribing and this is the first time you've ever been here, I'm going to call bullshit. Like, these people are actually just trying to gaslight me and make me feel bad about making the video, where I was completely fair, but they wouldn't know because they didn't watch it. They're bringing up irrelevant information to just try and paint me in a bad light here. So yeah, that's super annoying. I do want to make one thing. Thank you so much, Grim, for the $1 donation. I really appreciate that. It was earlier, but I'm not really going to be focusing or concentrating on the, what's it called? Let's try and just, I know, Realist, that you've been here a while and all that stuff. So I'm not gonna like just mute you. Please don't spam emotes though in the chat. Just gonna ask for that. But one thing is, a lot of these people are just really gaslighting. It's insane. These sycophants and everything, instead of addressing anything I said, they're trying to just go after me and make me feel bad about making a video where I fairly critique Leaflit's behavior. Look at this, and this is why I'm making the video, because people are like, you're just dragging on the video longer for drama and clicks. No, look at this. The amount of comments compared to my other videos, it's enormous here. One day I got 1,700 comments. Like half of those comments, mind you, are like people claiming incorrect facts about the video, just misrepresenting me, misrepresenting the video. I want to get to it. And it turns out, I might be a YouTuber, but when people make 1,700 comments and a lot of them are just lying about me, lying about my intentions or the things about this video, I kind of want to address it. I kind of want to get to the bottom about these things. Also, here's an interesting fact, little tidbit. The way you can tell if a video does well analytically speaking, at least for me, is if the view to like ratio is 1 to 10. So I have 31,000 views and 3,200 likes. That means you have more than a 1 to 10 ratio of people liking and supporting the video. You have a higher amount of people, though, just randomly coming in to leave a dislike, and they don't watch the video or see anything that's going on. These are just random people who never watch the video, never watch my channel, and just making up lies about me. Thank you, by the way, so much for the PLN. I don't know what that means exactly, but the 50 for that. Let's get this show started. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. But the thing is with all of this, I have a lot of stuff I want to address, like the most common, not accusations, claims made against me. Let's just get down to this. People were like, you could have gone to Leaflit about this. You could have talked to Leaflit about this. Why'd you have to make a public video talking about these things? Actually, I want to get to a different one first. They just claim I'm content farming and then I'm just making these slop videos for money. Look at this guy. He says, I'll say it here. My criticism is that all of this happened 2 weeks ago, apparently. So your video is quite late. It should have been made sooner. And now it looks like you're reopening drama for money. This is mind-blowing to me because you cannot win with these people. If I made the video right as the drama would happen, I'd be accused of slop farming. I'm drama farming here. I don't care to hear Leaflet's response or addressing the situation. I just care about making money and getting the views because it's trending. Why do you think I waited this long? Why do you think I waited 2 weeks despite being here looking at the drama since day one? I wanted to really get a well-rounded opinion of what's happening, get Leaflet's take on it. I was waiting for her response. I was cheering for her in the back, and I got proof of it. And also, here's the thing. If I make it too soon, I'm accused of farming what's trending. If I make it too late, I'm accused of reopening the drama for money. So I guess the only thing I can ever do is never talk about it, because if you ever talk about drama with people you do watch and you have any sort of concern with what's happening or what they did, you're just grifting. You're just grifting for money. He didn't say grifting, but he's saying I'm doing it for money. I'm just reopening the drama for money, or at least, okay, let's try and be as charitable as possible. He says, now it looks like you're reopening for money. None whatsoever. If I wanted to just make money and throw Leaflit under the bus, I would have made this video a lot sooner, but I didn't. Hey, Remnant, big fan. But we're in the fan base. Swifties. Oh, yeah, no, it feels like that. It feels like Leaflet's got a lot of those Swifties, and I want to make this distinction. I'm not talking about Leaflit just in this video. I'm mainly addressing what the fans, what these parasocial fans are saying. And I'm not saying that everybody's a parasocial fan. No, of course not. I would, like, sorry. I would literally be calling myself a parasocial fan if I was saying all the fans were that way. No, I really liked Leaflet's content. That's why I'm covering it. And part of the reason why I wanted to cover this is because the only people talking about this, from what I could see, were people who just didn't like Leaflit. If you watched Harmful Opinions video, and I think he does pretty good with the videos, if people claimed he was lying, if you have evidence or any instances of that, feel free to present them. You can't just claim people are lying, though. You have to present exact instances, timestamps, what people say. You have to go with that. But, sorry, just something was in the back of my throat. With all of this, I lost my train of thought. Damn it. Golly, where was I with all this? Yeah, I was addressing this from day one, and I did try and do it the correct way. Here's the thing. Look at this. He says right here, Chief, this video ain't it. And I'm going to try and be respectful because he's not somebody who just came in randomly. I looked, he's left quite a few comments previously. So I try and be respectful. I'm trying to really address these things as they are, treat you guys respectfully. I've been under a lot of attacks, so it takes a bit of self-control, but I'm trying to do this correctly. Just because people are lashing out at me doesn't mean I get to go around randomly lashing out at other people. Thank you so much, by the way, Miser, for the $50. Wow, thank you so much, bro. Have you seen any feedback to both critical that has critical and substance? Some of it I actually have seen, and I do want to talk about that. I would focus on that if so. I do want to cover both. But like when I'm being attacked by a lot of people, they're just saying I'm doing this for slop, doing this for money. I do also want to kind of address that as well. I personally don't think your case you make the video. Oh, wait. I personally don't think your case you make in the video is strong. Is all that strong? Sorry, golly, I can't speak. But it is hard to have any real discussion in Super Chat. Best of wishes. I appreciate you, man. Like, look, and here's the thing. If you make a case for these types of things, I will try and look at it and try and actually discuss it, go through with it. I literally only listen to any of the things these people said, like Nick Andros. I flat out said I don't like him in the video. My opinion has changed a little bit, though, y'all, because I literally try to be as kind, respectful, pleasant as possible. Try to be kind and respectful and pleasant as possible. And I still got so much heat. It's almost like there's nothing you can do with these people. You're going to be attacked and hated no matter what. And that's horrible. Technical Cruise says, Ref, your cough sounds like a smoker. What's your favorite flavors? I never smoked, but I'd probably have to go with Newports because I got that gangsta inside of me. Yeah. That's only a couple of people will get that joke. Actually, you smokers will get that joke. I used to sell cigarettes to people in a side job, not like retail. It's just retail. Had to do that, but no, I understand how you smokers are from that alone. But thank you so much for the $5. This one though, he says, why does it have to be? Okay, so this is like. I'm going to go over the most common objections. I genuinely don't think there are a lot of good objections, but we're going to go over the most common ones. I'm going to try and be straightforward, respectful with all of them. Literally, why does it have... Oh, golly, I can't read. Literally, why does it have to exist? And what authority do you have to go around holding others accountable? This is literally just contributing to what I call church gossip and spreading it on the internet. Let he who is without sin cast the first stone. Not your job or place to hold YouTube callouts holding people to their faith. Actually, there's more and different points he's going to get to. I'm going to go over those in just a sec. One, it is actually our job. And if you claim to be a Christian, you're called to correct and call that out if they're not living up to the title of Christian. I'm not doing this because I just want to go after Leaflit and I don't like her. I literally like her, but I'm doing this in spite of that fact. And that is what you're called to do as a Christian. If she didn't claim to be a Christian, I'd have a far less of an incentive to make this video because it's just, okay, you neglected what you were supposed to do. This is all purely negligence. But then there's something else that's going on there. Why are you promoting inappropriate material? No, you're not promoting inappropriate material directly. You're promoting a server that hosts and allows people to post and to do those types of things, to consume that type of material. You're promoting that server, yet you're claiming to be a Christian. If we assumed that she had no control over the server, what's it called? That still wouldn't stop her from just flat out saying, I can't promote the server because it goes against my values. You ought to stand for your values with all these things. I think that's important. And let me see. So I do think it's your job as a Christian to call these things out. But he goes into more stuff with this. He also says, he who's without sin cast the first stone. I've seen a couple of people make that comment. I'm not calling out Leaflit for what she does. I've actually seen people on Twitter, and I didn't bring this up in the video because this is not what I was focusing on or talking about. I wasn't going after Leaflit personally for like what she does in her personal life with these things. It's about what you promote while claiming to be a Christian. There was a video linked that she apparently like had some sort of hentai folder that got leaked on stream and people saw it. I'm not talking about that because I think you can still claim to be a Christian and struggle with certain sins. And I don't know the details about that. Like, if she say, hey, it's wrong. I acknowledge it's wrong. It's something I struggle with and I have a real problem working on. And I'm trying to clear that up. If that was the case, and it probably would be, I don't know. I can't really hold that against her too much. She ought to correct it, but if she would be in that instance, I can't really go against her for that. But um, if you're promoting a server that has it, that's different. You're not even just struggling against an urge, against an addiction or a sin. You're actively saying, hey, you can go to this place and it has all that inappropriate material. And that's a problem. There's something ideologically speaking going on there that needs to be addressed, needs to be talked about. Is your mic working? It keeps cutting in and out. It does? Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry about that. Is that true, guys? I know, I would trust Dane. Let me see. I appreciate you for letting me know, by the way, for the $2. Dane, let me see what's going on here. Is it clear for real? No, it's fine. Maybe it might be on your end because people are saying it's fine. It's probably on your end though. Haven't heard it cut out. Okay, that's good. I do appreciate you trying to let me know with that though. I appreciate you, man. But those are my thoughts on it. Shoot, I got kind of lost with the train of thought after I got interrupted, but it's fine. He says also, and yes, exactly what you're doing. Otherwise, I mean, yes, that's exactly what you're doing. Otherwise, you wouldn't have made this public video on a matter rather than a private message. Tell me why now your fans are involved. Well, one, let's assume this is something that should have been done in private. It's literally impossible for me. I didn't go into detail about this, but I literally said before, because guess what? I enjoy Leaflit's content. Y'all enjoy Leaflit's content. What was the logical thing to do? I tried to get a collab with her. And I was talking to Julio, her mod, because that's how you really reach these people. Somebody connected me to the mod, and it never really got anywhere because Leaflit, according to him, doesn't even just read the messages. Apparently, according to the mod, I didn't even get rejected with a collab. She just doesn't read even messages. Like, there have been people who proposition sponsorships, and she doesn't even respond to those. So that's just, and I'm not, holding this really a lot against her, being like, you don't read any of your messages. She just doesn't have a lot of time for that. But you can't critique me and say I should have brought this to her when it was literally impossible. But that is for a private issue. If you want to compare this to a church, this is where we all individually know each other. And it's not simply a matter of what you're publicly promoting to a lot of people. It's a matter of what's going on personally in your life. If there was something like, let's say I found out Leaflit was watching porn in the background and she wasn't talking about it, you would address her with that privately. You wouldn't be making a video like I did on this. And I didn't talk about that. I wasn't going over that. And I'm not judging her for that. Like, I'm not judging her or calling her out for that, even right now as I discuss it. I'm not. It's just, what are you actually promoting while claiming to be a Christian? Oh, Emerald says, as a paying patron, member of Leaflit, I very much dislike the echoing chamber that is defending Leaflit. Very disappointed. I'm honestly very sad too, because yeah, it makes me want to side more with people I don't want to side with. I don't want to side with Nick Andros. But after talking with harmful opinions about all this stuff, and even a little bit with Nick Andros, bruh, after me trying to be as kind, literally as kind and charitable as possible, I was biased when making that video. I was biased for Leaflit as a person who really likes Leaflit stuff. I'm cheering for her. I'm like, let's make this work out. This doesn't settle right with me, and because of my principles, I need to talk about this. But that doesn't change the fact that I really like her stuff and I want her to come out on top with this. But it would be wrong of me. I wouldn't be able to deal with that if I didn't talk about this. The only people talking about it were everybody was claiming, oh, Nick Andros just supports Hassan. And Nick Andros hates Asmongold and Tectone and Nux. And that's why he's doing all this stuff. I looked at the stuff and I found it to be wrong. And I thought, it would be wrong of me if I claim to be a right-wing Christian who wants to uphold principles. That's also what you guys claim. That's what Leaflet was talking about last night in her stream, because I decided to pop in for a little bit with her stream. She literally says the difference between the left and the right is principled and the left has no principles. You guys love to claim that, but the moment I actually try and be consistent with my principles, with how we call out people's behavior, I've called out Hassan's personal behavior because it contradicts his ideology. His personal life, the things he does, contradicts his ideology. I do this exact same thing with Leaflit, and I do it in the most mild, polite, kind way possible. I'm literally like you can even kind of hear it in the tone of my voice. I'm like begging, kind of begging, please address this, make it so it all works out in the end. Let's get past this. That's kind of like the vibe of the video. I'm like giving off in there, and still people just mindlessly hate me for it, and it's insane. So that's why I made the video. How can I claim to be, I'm all about principles? I'm about principles and holding people, on the same level. I'm going to call out bad behavior among atheists or people on the left, all the rest, and then I don't do it for a Christian. And I do apologize for not reading the chat as much right now. I'm going to try and leave this video open for people to watch so that they can see what I'm talking about here, because this is really annoying me. Golly, those emotes really distract me. I'm not reading the chat as much right now, but I'm just telling you why, so you don't feel like totally neglected, because I usually do read the chat a lot more. But that's what I'm talking about with these types of things. Also, he says here, I should have approached her privately. This is a public issue. She publicly supported this. Oh, concurrent viewers went down to 31 from 400. What happened? What the hell happened? What's happening here, guys? Thank you so much, Detective Muffin. And then it went back to 450. What the heck happened? I guess there's something going on there. Thank you so much for the $2 donation. You missed the other chat rip. Maybe it got censored. What? There was another chat? I thought I addressed the Patreon one. Is your mic working? Remnant cough. Oh my goodness, it probably did get censored. Shoot, I didn't see anything. Did you guys see anything? What was it? Thank you so much also for 5 gifted memberships, Mr. Paisar. I think I'm saying your name correctly. It did? Shoot. Is it? I'm looking through the chat. Just glitched on your end. Oh, golly. What was it? Is it anywhere? Let me see. Let me look for a second. I thought I addressed emeralds. Oh no, I'm not seeing it. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, let me look through the chat for just a second. Are you a VTuber? No, I'm not a VTuber. I'm especially not going to call myself after this one. I was liking to joke about it, like, oh, guess what? I guess I'm a pseudo VTuber now. No, I'm not. I'm not even going to associate myself with this group anymore. I don't want to like be associated with VTubers anymore. There's like one person I watch now, just one, and it's going to be Smugglena because she doesn't claim to be a Christian and does this stuff. Look, if she says you can be a gooner and do whatever, I can't hold her to Christian standards that she doesn't claim to hold. Yeah, like, golly. She's like the only person I'm watching as of late right now. And if Leaflit doesn't address this, golly, it's going to be so sad. I'm not holding anything that happens with these things, by the way, against her. What happens with her fans and happens with her is they have nothing to do with each other. And look, I'm sure if I got to that size, maybe there would be some parasocial people who'd react the same way. I can't judge her for that. I'm trying to be still as fair as possible with these things. But people say, why didn't you go to her in private? Why didn't you message her? I literally did. Look at the date here. This was when it all happened, by the way. February 26th. People are like, you're covering this so late. It's because I made a message talking to her about this. She didn't read it. Maybe she missed it, whatever. Look, I did my due diligence in trying to do this before I made a video. This video wasn't my first thing. If I could have messaged her and talked to her, I would have. But during the, like, she doesn't respond to messages from even her own mods, which is one of the only ways to reach her on Discord that I know of. She's got Twitter. You can't message her. And, like, what am I supposed to do? Golly, there's nothing I really can do with this. How do I reach her and talk about these things? So I made this. I literally say the exact same thing. It's the entire video just summarized in a single thing. And this was before she ever made any corrections to the server. And I wanted her to, like, say she take responsibility and she messed up with this, because you have to. You have to with a situation like this. in my opinion. It's just negligence. And that's why I said in my video, I don't think she's quote unquote evil. I don't think there's anything malicious with this. I genuinely think this is negligence. And I'm not demanding an apology. People are like, you're demanding an apology. I'm not demanding an apology. I want her to just take responsibility and say this was a mess up and then to go over it, not simply to change the server rules and leave it be. That doesn't sit well with me. That shows that you're just kind of not addressing this because maybe of pride or something like that. Maybe a little bit of an ego. Thank you so much, Birdface, for the $2. Wonderful channel, 10 out of 10. I appreciate you. This reminds me of a comment. Wonderful channel, 10 out of 10. There was another person who's like, let me see it. There's something really funny. Give me 1 second. Did I get the image? There's somebody who's like, he called me. So many people are saying I'm woke right now. This person. No, where is it? Give me 1 second to find it. Apology. Nothing burger. Maybe I didn't have it. Let me see. I have to go through the images again. I should have better prepared for this, but I did this like just all spur of the moment. Somebody called me. I don't see if I have it in here. Where is it? I'm so disorganized. Here, this one. You said 10 out of 10. It reminded me of this. Look at this one. This person's like, woke right BS out of 10. Got desperate with content farming out here. Yeah, it's like, no, I'm not content farming. That'd be stupid of me. I know how to quote unquote content farm if I want to. And this ain't it, buddy. Talking about a subject weeks after it happened because it just doesn't resonate right with you what happened. The response is not content farming. I would have jumped on the case and not waited for a response. But guess what? If you talk about too early, you're a slop drama channel who's reviewing it. If you talk about too late, your slop drama channel is trying to bring out back drama, old drama. There's no winning with these people. Also, it's really funny. Woke right? So let's ignore the fact that that's such a stupid term. And then I'll read off the super chat. Thank you so much, by the way. Let's ignore the fact that that's a ridiculous term. Leaflit loves people who are called the woke right by the person who coined the term woke right. Golly, I can't speak. James Lindsay coins that term online for people specifically like Andrew Wilson, which she really loves his content. She loves his content. And he gets called the woke right. It was designed for people like him. It was designed for people specifically who do a lot more personal attacks. Did I do any personal attacks in that video? Not a single personal attack against Leaflit. I did not attack her, insult her. I said, this doesn't line up. Your personal actions here don't line up with your beliefs that you purport to have. And I want to have this addressed. I want to hear out your side. I'm not just going to try and paint you in this bad way. I want to hear you out. And that's not at all characteristic of the woke right. The woke right would be attacking. The woke right would be just going after Leaflit, bringing up random irrelevant things. Being the woke right, as they would like to say it, would be creating an AI generated image of her being attacked. That's not at all what I did. If anything, the only thing you could accuse me of is, oh, Nick Andros is here. Number of people who left the comments claiming about it on the fan server. She had no control over proves that something is worth speaking about. Shoot, I'm not reading these things properly. I'm so sorry. Number of people who left comments. Yeah, it's just so stupid, all of it. I do appreciate you, by the way, Nick Andros. People are hating on you right now. I'm going to make a public statement right now. You know, screw all the people who just attack individuals they dislike, even though they say the correct thing. I'm flat out, like, I'm very right-wing. Everybody's accusing Nick Andros of being like a left-wing guy. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he's right-wing or left-wing if he points out something that's true and needs to be addressed, period. Golly, you people want to talk the talk of having principles, but you hate the walk to walk. Nah, that didn't rhyme. You hate to walk the walk. I gotta read off super chats right now. Thank you so much, by the way. She didn't take it seriously, and when she brought it up on the timeline 2 weeks ago, and she keeps letting me on, at this point, Lord have mercy. Thank you so much, Evangelicus for Beck Evangelicus for the $10. Thank you so much, by the way. Miko with another 50. Thank you so much, by the way. One recommendation, make a clear and concise list of what you think she should do, separate and why. Keep that front and center, and also think about what you would do if the same was asked of you. Keep in mind, not everybody doing this is in good faith. No, I agree. That's honestly good. What I would want, and I'd never demanded an apology. I don't want a quote unquote apology. I want what's it called? If you do something that's wrong, you say I messed up. It happened because of what I did, and that's it. And guess what? Hey, let's say if I was Leaflit and this happened to me. Hey, I messed up with the server. I really neglected it, and I didn't do my due diligence, but we changed it, and yeah, it was my fault. And I'm not going to blame anybody else. I should have done better, and we move on. We move on, you change it, you correct, you take responsibility, and you can't. I've done it on my channel so many times. When I was arguing with Alec Gunter, who hated me, he hated me like so much back then, was attacking me all the time. When he pointed out I used a study that could have been fallacious and all the rest, was biased, all that stuff. What did I say? Good point. You made a good point there, and I should have known that. And that was it, coming from a person who hates me, who literally like said really vile things about me, despite the fact that I was completely kind in this video. I was biased in favor for Leaflit. Chat that was censored. It said, scary how some comments are claiming to be Christian and then are okay with the P word. And now they can't see past the addiction and realize it's so harmful and evil. Love the bits. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm not even criticizing her for that stuff. I saw like a thing from Nicandros on his Twitter. He said she watches porn. I'm not criticizing her for that. You're not at least, like, in that instance, you're not promoting it to other people. It's something you ought to, you're struggling with. I can't judge you for what's going on with that, because I don't know the context. Are you excusing it? Are you actually struggling with it? I don't know Leaflit as a person. How can I use that example against her? But if she's actively promoting something on her channel, like a server that is linked to this inappropriate content, yeah, that's a public thing. Nick Andros and us were both talking about this. Like, what should you address in private and what should you address in public? I'm getting a little hyper here, but this really annoys me. Address the things in public that happen in public. We're not at a church where this is all just hidden underneath. Like, people are like, you just want a content farm. That's all you're doing. You're not you're just making these videos because you want to farm the views, make the money, because I made so much money on that video, guys. But the thing is, they don't know this about me. If you're a YouTuber, you get to my size, you get to know a lot of people. I have, and I know a lot of content, slop drama that I could make videos on that none of you have or ever will know about, having to do with other YouTubers. I know of controversies that never made the light of day. I keep it between me and that person, and we talk about it and we resolve it. Because guess what? They didn't make it public. They weren't promoting certain things or behaviors, and it was private. Like, for example, no, I shouldn't say this. I shouldn't say it. I'm almost saying something, but they're private things. Here's the point. There are some things that ought to be kept private. And there are other things that ought to be addressed publicly. Addressing this publicly, like they did, was the right thing to do because it was done in public. If Leaflit, for example, was, I don't know, cheating on somebody, that ought to be kind of handled more in private, wouldn't you think? Because, like, handled between her and her family and the people around it, or people who are directly involved, I think that'd be more appropriate. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you can feel free to disagree with me, by the way. If I'm saying something stupid, feel free to call me out. Do whatever, make a video on me. I'm not going to be like, I'm not super sensitive to critiques. I'm fully acknowledging that I can say some stupid things, especially live on the moment, that can be taken the wrong way. Positivity, Maxine, your helmet is super cool. Thank you so much, by the way. This is a real helmet. This is just something I made, took pictures of myself. Yeah, it took me a whole month to make this. But this is like, yeah, this just all annoys me so much. And I appreciate you, Stellar, for the $5. Goes back to Matthew 7. If you're going to call out degeneracy, you've got to make sure that you're squeaky clean yourself, unless it's Matthew 7:5. Yeah, I think you have to not be hypocritical. I'm not promoting pornographic material, so I can call this out. It's very simple. I'm not guilty of the thing I'm calling her out for. But I'm not like, oh, this. There we go. Yeah, nobody's perfect, but this is a very low bar, and it's very black and white. But let me see. There was some other stuff I want to cover. Nothing burger. Yeah, people are like, this is a nothing burger. Remnant. Look at this comment. Remnant turning as obnoxious as some leftists he was criticizing was not how I imagined you'd progress. I don't even know how Leaflit. I don't even know Leaflit. I don't even know who Leaflit was. Sorry, golly, bro. I feel like I'm a computer who's glitching out right now, having some hardware issues. But that video was a nothing burger. I don't believe this person. 2 comments ever left. I think he just saw like thumbnails on the channel and he's critiquing me off of something that's not even real. 2 comments. You're apparently you know things about me. Apparently I'm criticizing the peoples the same way leftists do. They criticize people, call out their behavior by being extremely kind, charitable, generous, very lenient with all of this stuff, doing it from the perspective of I like this person's content, yet I gotta call this out. And we're not canceling you. I literally say we're not canceling you. And I don't want to like stop watching your content. I want you to address this. That's what's going on. And other people want it addressed too. Like, look at this one. There was this person who said, talking to her privately would do nothing to win back all the people, like myself, who are disgusted by watching her play hot potato with any accountability whatsoever. Like, that's how we are in. That's what we're in. Also, you want to talk about my role, my responsibility. I have the ability to talk about this stuff. If I purposely don't talk about this stuff just because I like Leaflit, just because I want to get a collab with Leaflit or something, or to stay in a certain in-group, that is wrong of me. I have a responsibility given the position I'm given. I can talk about certain things, shed light on this, and it can change stuff. You know, it might not be a lot, but I ought to do what I can, right? With what little you're given, you should use responsibly. That he without sin has been appropriated by non-believers as those to back pocket faith. Yeah. Castation. Let me see. Anyways, love ya. And you're my favorite woke VTuber. No. Golly, I'm gonna be honest. I was not expecting myself to not be in such a bad mood. I honestly lost sleep from this because it was just playing throughout my head while I was going to sleep. I was trying to listen to Joe Bart talk about some sort of philosophy stuff to get my mind off of this, because it's just annoying. Look, you guys can hate me. I'm fine with that. I'm used to hate. But hate me for the right reasons. Call me out on things I actually said or actually did or actually for who I am. Guys, can we do that? Can you please hate me for the right reasons? Can you please hate me for the content of my character? 1 second, I need a drink of water. Look at this, though. We got another one. This one's, I think, worth addressing, and it's a big point people are making repeatedly. I want to cover points that are repeatedly covered in the comments over and over. Golly, this water tastes like soap. Ugh, the aftertaste is nasty. It's disgusting. But I got a drink. She already has taken care of the issues on her server. She has never claimed to be a beacon of Christian morality or any specific denomination. She claimed to be raised Christian, big difference. She even has claimed to be bisexual, but preferring men. You would know if you watched her for a year. I should know. I barely watched her YouTube for about 4 months. I know that. She literally claimed to be a Christian. She didn't claim to be a Christian, a beacon of morality. Nobody does that. Nobody's like, I'm the beacon of morality. Okay, that can be a real argument if you can find people who actually claim to do that. Guys, do you know anybody who actually does that? But no. Also, I'm not criticizing her behavior. I'm criticizing what she's promoting while claiming to be a Christian. I don't know her private life. I'm not judging her for her private life. I'm judging what she promoted. And I think that's wrong and destructive. It paints a bad light for Christians. And also, if we're Christian, we should call these things out. If people like Trent Horn, Andrew Wilson, any of these people she really likes to watch, well, I don't know about Trent Horn as much. She's watched a little bit of this stuff. These people, she's a really big fan of. They would say the exact same things. They'd probably be a lot less kind about it than me. So golly. So also, she claims to be a bisexual but pursued men. I don't know how that's relevant. You think that people who have attractions to the same sex can't be Christian? You can be Christian and have different attractions, just don't act on them. That's just a very basic Christian belief. Like, what is this? What is this, guys? Did I ever say that bisexual people are going to hell? Did I ever say you can't be a Christian because these things are outside of your control? Like that's its own topic, and that's something I would like to discuss a bit more later. But that's not a thing I have against her. I don't care if you're bisexual or gay or any of that stuff. Literally, I don't care. But this one's an interesting point. Look at this. This is as smart as it is retarded because the first part's really good. This is actually a really good comment. Then it gets retarded at the end. Christians are weird. Barnes & Noble presents itself as family-friendly, family values, aligned with Christianity, etc. Yet markets sell the P word to young people. No age section, no ID checks. Events for this material, book signings and book releases are routinely advertised directly to younger people. This is a company with 600 stores, the largest remaining physical bookstores. Most people in their stores have a deal with Starbucks and all the rest. This is a bookstore that reaches millions of people a year and is the #1 retailer of the bad material to younger people. But none of you want to address that. You would rather make slop videos talking about random VTubers on private servers with memberships to thousands, maybe. What? Wow, so controversial, so brave. You take this whole P thing so seriously, and they obviously said that at the end sarcastically. This is so stupid because you raise a good point. You raise a really good point that we have these companies who claim to be Christian who aren't doing Christian things. That is disgusting and horrible. What you're saying about Barnes and Noble, people should address that and talk about it. I don't though, because I don't. Oh, wrong button. Because I don't go to Barnes and Noble to buy books. I'm an audiobook guy for listen to books. Golly, I don't know anything about this, so I don't cover it. But I do with Leaflit because she claims to be a Christian. You kind of stay in your own niche with the things you know. You don't want to talk about things you don't really understand. You make a fool of yourself that way. Golly. So this person's like, you need to call out these people who are claiming to be Christian, these organizations that sell this material that's inappropriate to young people. I fully agree. So then why are you hating on me? Why do you think this is stupid what I'm doing? You're saying it's because I'm not covering that. I don't have to cover all these random things I don't know anything about. These bookstores. Do you think I look like I go to a bookstore in 2027? You really think that everybody buys things off of Amazon? Come on. Obsessed Maxine, a far-right YouTuber. Is this an abandoned... Because they got no principles. I don't want to say anything having to do with like that, but no, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the $5. Oppressed Maxine. I don't know anything about that person. That sounds kind of funny though. Just a funny Maxine name. I think people will regret those types of names, those types of memes later on though. You keep your emotions in check better than I do. Sorry for leaving a paragraph in one of your posts. Look, it's fine. I was so angry earlier. I was so angry. Like, you're seeing the burnt out version of me. Like, and I'm really trying to be calm and composed because I want to leave this video open for people to see. I want to address this stuff, but I'm not going to spend another week working on these videos. Oh, golly. I try to view these things as charitable as possible, but then there are people who leave random stupid things like this. Look, I want to make sure I attack the right people. If you leave lies like this person's a liar, by the way, a liar, spreading lies about me and then trying to gaslight me and freak me out because I covered this topic. I hate that. You are deserving to be an insult, to be called a fool. You deserve to be called a retard. I'm not going to attack people, or at least I'm going to try not to attack people who genuinely try and raise real good objections, or at least they don't even have to be good. They can be people who sincerely believe the things that they're saying. They want it to be addressed. I will try and be respectful, courteous with that. That's what I'm going to try and do. And that's why I looked at all these things. That's why I mentioned before with the posts, like it's useful that I can see who's saying what. You know, like they're claiming that they're unsubscribing. Bullshit. You just found my video that day. You're a gaslighter. You're a liar. Oh my word, I hate this. For the people who claim that, oh, we're against cancel culture. You're trying to cancel me. You're trying to cancel Leaflit. You're trying to cancel me and make me feel like I'm getting canceled when you never watched my content to begin with. What is this? What? It's like you're calling up a company that you're angry with that you never shopped from saying, I'm going to quit. I'm going to stop buying your products because of this controversy. It's like me going to Hassan and saying, I'm unsubscribing from your Twitch account if you do these things, Hassan. I never was subscribed to begin with. I never like loyally watched Hassan's stuff. You can't cancel these people. And I'm literally said in the video, I'm not trying to cancel Leaflit. I'm rooting for her, but I'm rooting for her. I want her to come out on top with all of this, but it's not at the expense of my principles, period. And guess what? People like to talk the talk, but not walk the walk. And now they're angry at me for that. That's what's happening. Thank you so much, by the way, for becoming a beloved squire. Birdface, thank you so much. Golly. But that's what's happening. There is some other stuff. Because, like, look at this. The analytics don't lie. The likes to view ratio, it's pretty much the same. It devolves later as you go on. Like, for example, the one below it, it's like 9 out. No, it's not even 9 out of 10. You have fewer likes to views compared to the 1 to 10 like to view ratio here. But it's just so insane. That number, the fact that it has a higher like to the 1 out of 10 like ratio to views says the people who watched the channel liked it. But then people who watched Leaflit blindly support, who are these parasocial fans. And I'm not calling all Leaflit fans the parasocial, no. But the people who watched, left a comment, and just attacked me despite not knowing anything about me or the video, what it said, and left a dislike. Those, yeah, let's address that. Let's talk about that. These people, just nonsensical. There's something else, though. What was it? Let me look through here real quick. Parents' job. Yes, people are talking about the parents' job. Let's address this real quick. The whole issue I have with this, because they're saying, and this I want to address as fairly as possible, because this person, Discount Sock, he watches my videos. He left comments for quite a while. No disrespect to him, not attacking him at all. But I'm going to address what you said. Sorry, but what? You have a responsibility if you claim to be a Christian for the things you have power and control over. You promoting a server that has access to those that material, you are responsible for what happens within the server. And it's like a company, it's like a legal thing. If you could have prevented this by instilling some different rules or procedures, you will be held accountable for it. If it was unprecedented, if it was some random freak accident, I don't think they're going to be held as liable for those types of things. But this would be classified as gross negligence. Gross negligence. Does that mean she's being malicious or she's evil here? I don't believe so, but this is very negligent, and she needs to discuss this. I think and here's the thing, people are like, she has talked about this. I need to find that part. Maybe I didn't add it. I gotta see it. People were talking about how, let me find it. I don't think I added all the screenshots. I had an issue adding all the screenshots, but I'll add them now. People were like, she already addressed this on Moko's stream. Yes, let's talk about this. People were like, love your videos, man. What was this? Have you talked about harmful opinions or Nicandro Soli? Are they the sole source of your information? Look, people in the comments are calling them liars. If you have real evidence timestamps to show what they're saying or going over with Leaflit is incorrect, feel free to throw that at me. Feel free to tell me about it. You know, why don't you just highlight exactly what they lied about rather than just calling them liars? I don't find that to be productive. Reach out to me on Twitter. Guess what? I actually, unlike Leaflit, have open DMs. You can DM me on Twitter. Tell me about it. I'm not picking a side. I want to resolve this issue. But guess what? When you are attacking me, lying about me, wrongfully about all these things, I feel like the correct side is probably with harmful opinions and Nick Andros with this one. If you, I don't know what you're trying to accomplish by lying about me. But look at this one. She showed up at Momoko's stream discussing the Discord thing. I don't think that's a valid way to address these things. And I think that's, look, I'm saying this is why she did it. My theory is the reason why you would discuss this on a side live stream than instead of anywhere on your Twitter or anywhere on YouTube is to cover it up more. The only reason why I know anything about what they're talking about here is because the person they're accusing of being dishonest, harmful opinions, brought it to light. He's the only way I would have known she even addressed this or talked about it even slightly in her stream. And she neglected any sort of accountability. She blamed other people. And I went over it in the video, and that's not taking accountability for what happened. It's not taking responsibility. And not only did she not take responsibility in that stream, she did it in a small niche stream with somebody who has like hardly any viewers compared to her. No disrespect to that person, though they're kind of weird with their avatar. You got a female avatar and you have a guy's voice. That's weird. I'm never watching your stuff if you do that. I don't, you could be the coolest, most based, most right-wing person ever. And if you have that, I'm not watching your stuff. Just, what's going on here? Come on, people. But, well, at least she addressed it. What did she say, though? She said it wasn't her server. She said it was a fan server, and she didn't control what happened on that server. Look, you could, what about Rev? I don't watch Rev's stuff purely because he's got a female avatar and it's a guy's voice. What is that? Look, I'm not making any claims about Rev, about what type of person he is. I don't know anything about him because I don't watch him because of his avatar. Like, if you're going to be a guy VTubing, by the way, this is a word of advice to VTubers out there because there are a lot of guy VTubers. Be cool. Why do you guys have feminine woman weird avatars when you could be a cool guy? This is all animated. This is not real. You can make these things anything you want. Like, for example, look at this. I love the idea of the VTubers like to think of themselves and call themselves super creative. I don't see as much creativity as they like to purport. Look at my background. I put myself in a fucking cave and it's raining outside because I could. It's not real. I can decide, look, there's a golem in the background. We can do this. But the VTubers have the most basic things you see all the time, 9 times out of 10. I'm not hating on them, but you're not as creative as you pretend to be. And if I were a guy VTubing, here's real advice for you guy VTubers out there. Why not lean into something really cool? You have the creativity, the ability, the freedom to be and represent yourself however you want. Why do you have to represent yourself as a feminine anime guy? Why? Why? You don't have to do that. And if you want to say, well, they can do whatever they want, okay. I'm just not going to watch that, though. And I think you would do a lot better if you leaned into something that appeals to guys. You can be a guy VTuber and be appealing to guys if you're cool. Be cool, man. I saw a VTuber or some PNG tuber before react to one of my videos because I got pinged. He was a lich. He was a guy with a skeleton. It wasn't that animated or professionally done, but the concept was there. It was cool. Do that. Why not be a cool skeleton? Why not be this cool, edgy guy? Lean into it. Stellar Oreo says, cough, cough. Rev says Desu. I don't know what this says Desu is, though. But thank you so much. Yeah. Nothing against those people. Not hating on anybody. It's just pet peeves. Might come across the wrong way, but I'm just making it clear. Just speaking my mind. This is a stream. People say random things that come to their head. But what was it? Yeah, I do think that, look, I try to be as charitable as possible. And I didn't mention this because guess what? I was more biased with Leaflit. But the more and more I get attacked, the harder it is to be as kind and charitable as I was. If I'm speaking what I think, When you, instead of addressing this on your Twitch, on your YouTube, on your Twitter, where more and more people would be exposed to see it, you just address this on the Mamoko stream. To me, it gives the vibe, and she can feel free to correct me on this. I'm open to correction from anybody with this. It gives me the vibe that you're kind of just putting it to the side so that when people say, why haven't you addressed this? You can respond with, well, I have addressed this on a different stream. And it's kind of buried to the side. That way you can say you addressed it, but not many people get exposed to it or see it. That way you're just sweeping it, as they would say. You're just sweeping it under the rug, what's happened here. And I find that very concerning. And that's what a lot of people are saying. I don't find that to be... She made a tweet addressing this. Okay, so where was the tweet? Let's look into this real quick. So y'all say she made a tweet. I've been scouring her Twitter quite a while. Where did she actually address this and take responsibility for what happened? Did she? I'm willing to like take back the things I say if she actually did. Where is this? Let me look her up. Let's do this. You cannot see what's going on in the background, but I'm looking it up. I'm looking at the main posts. Men literally did though. What? She's quote tweeting Niara. Yep, they're at it again. What can I say? The perfect dress doesn't exist. When people block me, it's the great honor. What's going on here? I don't see anything about this. People are tags me twice, but afraid to respond. I think you look, I don't want to tear into Leaflit too much. There's a lot of things I do want to say though, but I got to control my emotions here. I might talk about them later, but I don't see her addressing this at all in what I'm talking about. Where does she address this on Twitter? The only addressing was February 27th where she doubled down. I don't see anything. Okay, let me look at chat because I was looking while I was asking this question. Do you guys actually have this anywhere? Like, let's see. Let's turn on the chat, by the way. Live chat. Lies, lies, the perfect dress does exist. Okay. Where was it? Like, I'll give you guys a chance to respond to this. There's a reply. Where? I don't see it anywhere. I've looked also at replies. Look, here's also another thing. Like, you can say, oh, she did respond to it. Where? The fact that I have to look so hard anywhere for it. Lemon says, hello, Remnant, I love you. Oh, that's so nice. Well, love you too. Not really, because I don't know you, but I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Where has she addressed it? If I have to search and dig through this, that's not really addressing it. You're kind of burying it underneath, but giving yourself plausible deniability. February 23rd, that's the tweet. That's when she made the tweet. Let's see. February 28th. Let me see. I'm looking. I don't see it. Oh, golly. Is it just in a reply? That's not really addressing it. Just some sort of niche hidden thing, hidden reply. I've scoured through so many replies in case I missed it because I want to be as charitable as possible. I don't see this. Look, we have to dig through so much just to even try. Why does this have to be some sort of Easter egg hunt to find a response to any of this? I'm looking. Look, send the link. Maybe it doesn't work if he sends the link. I don't see. There's literally nothing. Literally nothing for me. It's just February 27th and then March 1st. Where's... Oh, wait. No, I'm sorry. I got the dates wrong. Wait 1 second. I'm sorry. The concept of jury trials scare the shit out of me. That was the 28th. Everything looks promising. You did. Okay, she did actually say something. Let's go through it. The reason why I didn't want to reply to anybody is because I felt there was no point. Okay, this sounds like what I just mentioned in the video, what I mentioned in my video, where she said it, a little bit of this in the live stream. Anything I would have said is taken out of context anyway. In reality, I took over the Discord completely, installed a new manager, and removed all the material related to the Rule 18, the whitelist one. Yeah, we covered that. She made change. Where's the accountability for how this happened? How was this in the server? How did this get into the server? Why was this allowed in the server? That was the core of my problem. It's not what she did. Like, has she addressed this or fixed it? I literally mentioned that in the video. Calm down, Sam. Making leaflets look unhinged. I don't even see what the person's saying. I've literally, that's not what I'm talking about here. That's not addressing it. I agree that a lot of VTubers aren't creative, not just the male ones. I think you do a good job with your avatar. Good luck with the stream. I appreciate you. Like, look, take a page out of my book and just try and do some random different stuff. That's how you really stand out, right? Add something different and new and of value. And look, I don't watch male VTubers, period. But if they were cool, if they tapped into something more masculine, I would. I'd be fine with it. Bro, we can watch a animated character that's cool, that taps into more masculine traits rather than feminine traits because that's what all the other female VTubers do and it works for them. You're not a woman. Being feminine's not going to work with me, buddy. You just come across as gay. Like, I'm really lit. I'm really just piling it on the VTubers now. But like, yeah, let's see. There was some stuff. I wish I really did a bad job on adding all the images I wanted to address and talk about here. So that's bad on me. I need to find and make sure we're addressing the... I'm so sorry if you heard that. No, we covered that. I'm trying to be as respectful as possible. Genuinely trying my damnedest. She has taken care of it, they say. Am I missing anything with this? Oh, this one was funny, though. Yeah, this one was funny. I want to cover this one. This guy, he's also here. Shout out to the realist human. Um, Someone makes a fan server. You hold her accountable for things she did not do. This is the woke right in action. The woke right, even though she literally supports the people that the person who coined that term, the woke right, calls the woke right. It's very likely that the person who coined that term, the woke right, by the way, would call Leaflit the woke right. Just so you know, because she supports those people. And by people, I mean Andrew Wilson, because he's based. She's correct in supporting him with that. And then the realist humans, like in the green text form, fan server, her channel literally linked to it. She has mod privileges. What did the original poster mean by this? He literally brought fortune to YouTube right there. What a champ. We need more people like him. We need people to address the misinformation. Address the misinformation. We need the council of truth here. This part, this is also another thing. By the way, I accidentally cropped out what this guy said, and I don't want to misrepresent him. He actually says at the bottom, and I accidentally cropped this out, that it's a nothing burger. He thinks my video is a nothing burger. You're perfectly entitled to think that. I don't believe so, and I can go over that in just a second. At this timestamp, you ask her to take responsibility when she has dealt with the issue. Now, here's the question. Have you seen your own video? I guess this person's calling me a hypocrite. One thing is, I don't find this to be taking accountability. Like, if you had somebody who claimed, I'm an environmentalist right now. I need to have my chat up, by the way, so I don't miss anything important. Yeah, I did miss a super chat. I'm so sorry about that. Because my thing, my Streamlabs is not working. So I can't even see when people are getting this stuff. Let me read off the super chat, though. With the whole male VTuber bit earlier, I can't help but notice that many of them use demons as character designs. Why always demons? Where is my lizardmen and robots? We need skeletons. I think that'd be so cool. I love skeletons. I was thinking about, like, bro, you gotta do skeleton. Come on, guys. But look at this one real quick. This person does a really good defending me. He literally just reinstates the entire point. I thought it was fun to show on here. The point is, though, if somebody was claiming, for example, to be against, what's it called? Let me think. I need to get my words correct with this. If they're claiming that they're in favor of saving the environment, that's what they're advocating for and supporting. And then they got caught supporting a company or promoting a company that sponsored them or something like that, and they were ditching toxic waste into the local rivers. With them saying, oh, I'm just not associating with that company anymore, be addressing the issue. I don't think it would be. If the person, let's like, you would have to address what happens there. You would have to say, look, I didn't do a proper vetting process on who my donors were and who these companies I was advocating on the behalf of were actually doing. And that was negligent of me. And I need to, I'm taking responsibility for what happened, and it wasn't good of me. Take responsibility that way. You just saying you're no longer associating with a group, associating with that company, or you're no longer allowing this content to be posted on the server, while claiming to be a Christian, or with if you were an environmentalist, associating with people who are actively destroying the environment. Just not associating with them isn't addressing the issue. It's like, how did that happen to begin with? Let's talk about this. And sadly, where it's leaning, I'm kind of leaning to the idea that you might not be what you're pretending to be online. But I don't want to be wrong with mischaracterizing you. I don't want to call you a fake Christian. I don't want to call you a grifter. Any of that stuff. Literally, my video talking about grifters, my video giving a guide on what grifters were, was literally inspired. No, not inspired. Really motivated by the video where she was being called a grifter by Jackson, the weird femboy VTuber who was calling her a grifter despite there being no evidence. It was literally inspired by that because he did such a horrible job at constantly accusing everybody he just disliked for being a grifter. The stream was lagging. Why didn't you notice? Oh, golly. We may have missed the last 10 minutes. Oh no, really? Are you guys serious? 300 people watching? What was it before? How many survived? Oh no, yeah, it was about 400. Are you guys all right now? Is everything going good? What's going on with the stream? Let me close some stuff. Make sure that this is being taken care of. I hope that we're not lagging too much. It's actually refreshing. He didn't notice the lag. Oh, my apologies. It truly is Jover. Does he know? I can just imagine the meme. Does he know? What do you think about the next council? The Council Remnant would be fire. We need the Council of Truth to combat the propaganda being made against me. It was lagging hard. Oh no, how much did y'all miss? That's so sad. It was super lagged. Dang. Dang, that's unfortunate. I thought this was live, not a preview. We were attacked by Hassan. That's so sad. Microslop destroying your stream architecture. The litmus test for gooners. My understanding of the woke right is that there are many people who are willing to use left-wing tactics to support right-wing goals or something. Yes, that's literally what the term woke right was originally meaning. I think the term woke right is very stupid. Is it still lagging, guys? Let me see. Let me ask in chat. Is it still lagging? No. Oh no, people are saying it's lagging. Stopped lagging as much for me. Oh no. What are the solutions? What are the solutions to this, fellas? No lag for me. We would lose valuable frames per second of the golem. I don't think it's the golem, guys. Guys, I don't think it's the golem. I don't think it's the golem. Let me see. Is it the golem? Does the lag stop here? We're in the void now. I don't think it stops here. For me, I gotta change this stuff up. This is like the second or third time this happened. You guys get a little preview to the back room area here. It ain't lagging for me. Hi, stream alone, free speech is human right. Check your chat. You're lagging. Okay. Let me see. Let me try again. Boy.